Alright, moving into our first story for today, Shatta Wale has demonstrated that he has nothing bad to say about Burna Boy. Many were shocked when Shatta Wale used Snapchat to send the artist flowers in appreciation for the global impact he's having on African music. He wrote, "Glad God, my friend who was to be and no more my friend, is killing the world. Even though we don't talk, I'm so happy to see him succeed. Shouts to Burna, you're burning it." Burna Boy's repeated record-breaking accomplishments have made Nigerians and other Africans proud. And this is no longer breaking news. Okay, so this means they've settled their beef, or Shatta Wale is trying to,
Cloud chase. Trying to cloud chase, like, hey, look,
come on.
see, I need to be a part of this. It's not only this is the same Shatta Wale that came out some weeks back that was saying trash on his live about Nigerians or how Nigerians are fake, how we all sound the same. He doesn't even know why we getting all the awards. It's because we're not real. He's like the realest
Okay,
guy.
that's shading.
So the same. So one thing we need to understand: Shatta Wale is a character of his own. He's more like the comic character of music industry when it comes to the Ghanaian music industry.
Yeah.
So he can come out right now and say something and tell you, man, he's the richest musician in the whole wide world, and tomorrow he'll be
But
like,
people should not take him seriously all the time.
that's the thing. People have learned not to take him seriously anymore. To just look at him like, oh, it's Shatta Wale. Oh, it's okay. We can roll.
But I do think, though, it could also be him trying to extend an olive branch. I mean, him and Burna Boy had a friendship at some point. Yeah. Although, I mean, when you and your friend have a falling out and allegations of rape are being thrown around, I would certainly not be extending an olive branch. But it's possible, though, that he's seen that perhaps being that character that you've spoken about is costing him some things like perhaps money, business deals, network opportunities. Exactly. So if his money is running short, and I don't know how much money he's got, but if he feels like he's missing out, I think he's well within his rights to offer a semi-apology like this. But will Burna Boy accept that extended branch? Probably not.
Nope.
Burna Boy,
as a proud guy that Burna Boy is, he'll be like, he'll probably look at Shatta Wale straight and be like, ha 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 ha.
Who's laughing last?
So, who is laughing now? Who's
Burna Boy. Anyways, shout out to Burna Boy though, because he's actually making big waves in the music space and then representing Nigeria and Africa.
Burna Boy, Whiskey, Omale, this guys.
They're doing well.
They're actually contributing to the economy, Nigeria's economy, more than the federal government.
Yeah, it's Afrobeats. Is Afrobeats just a Nigerian sound?
Right now, it's no longer just a Nigerian. It's not just a Nigerian sound.
But it was just a Nigerian
sound. It used to. There's Afrobeats and Afrobeats. That has been the subject of debate for a long time. There's Afrobeat. People will tell you Afrobeats is the fella, fella tune, which is being the Nigerian African tune. Then Afrobeats. Some people will argue that it came from London. In which I'll be like, how did he come from London? Yeah, some blacks in London would tell you that, man, Afrobeats, they coined the word Afrobeats out before Nigeria rode with it. But I think the real sense is that the sound itself, it's no longer a Nigerian thing because the Jamaicans are jumping on it, the Europeans are jumping on it, Actually, everybody Mexican,
It's more like a commercial sound now. It's like a world sound. Exactly, like everybody wants a piece of the Afrobeat sound. But speaking about it helping the economy, I was reading something about the GDP of Nigeria, and apparently, entertainment contributed just 1.1%. That was its growth in all this time with the worldwide acclaim. Yes, so it was just about a 1.1% growth in GDP for the entertainment sector, and that's not saying something positive.
Is that covering music and movies as well?
Yes, music and movies, really.
Well, I don't know where that research is from, but here is it. I think probably what my attribute to that is that most of these artists, they don't really, remit what they actually get.
Oh,
yes, in form of taxes and all of that. So some of them will tell you, hey, look, don't pay into the account. Can we get cash? Can we get this? And some of them will rather not spend the money in Nigeria because of certain things. They would rather want to spend in the US and the UK. I mean, I've booked some artists that will say, send in your account details. They say, can we get the money in cash when we
Real
get
time,
to the
okay.
venue. Like, wow, how do we carry,
That bulk cash, yeah.
$40,000-$50,000 and be moving around Tanzania?
That's cheating the system.
So it's because some of them, when you hear what they say, they get to tell you a whole lot of things about the Nigerian system. They tell you, oh, if we carry this money to Nigeria and they go half arm, before you know everybody will do this one, immigration, this, so the best thing, we need to do this. And like, so some of them they prefer buying things, they shop there, then they prefer to ship those things to Nigeria, which,
And this is why they now make people pay taxes on things that are coming in,
Exactly,
even if it's
yeah.
personal effect. It affects everyone.
So good. I hope Burna Boy sees this as a means of, settling whatever beef he has with Shatta Wale, and they just squash whatever. Anyways, let's move on to our next story. Basket Mouth has said that he refused to sue a company despite not getting a property he paid for because he does not trust the judicial system. The comedian in an interview said he is never a fan of the nation's judicial system, and he also stated that he has moved on to buy another property. Basket Mouth said, I am not a big fan of the judicial system in Nigeria because of the processes involved. Unfortunately, I don't trust it. I pushed as much as I could, but the guy is someone I respect a lot, and along the line, we became platonic friends. I bought another property and moved on 3 years after. I kept asking about it, but they had a court issue. They told me that they would give me another house, but that hasn't happened till now. I got upset and I was going to call him out, but his brother became a king, and out of respect for their family's name, I backed out. So now, Basket Mouth and his friend, or I don't think they're still friends.
Probably former friend.
Former friend now. He's having this issue because with the state of the judicial system in Nigeria, I can very well attest to the fact that if he takes this matter to court, they're going to elongate the whole matter and might not even get what he wants.
Right. And there's this statement that justice delayed is justice denied. So if people feel like they can't get a swift resolution, they'll just say, you know what, I'm not dealing with this. But unfortunately, it does seem like Basket Mouth is out of pocket. Because, if you paid 14 million naira for a house, or
was it 14?
It was
32 million.
Okay, so he paid it 14 years ago.
Yeah.
You're definitely not going to get a house with that price right now.
You know what, right? I don't know why I choose not to run with this story. This Basket Mouth story has a whole lot of loopholes, and I'm not buying it. I was one of those when I saw 32 million naira deposit of a house 14 years ago. First thing that came to my mind, did you mean to say 3.2 million naira? So let's do the maths real quick. I might be wrong though. I don't know how much money he makes, because 14 years ago, flashback, he should be like 28, 29. And I've been following Basket Mouth's career, so I'm not sure how he was able to have up to 32 million. I'm just saying, because if we have an actual, that's why you'll see a research that actually says entertainment industry don't contribute a lot. But imagine a Basket Mouth at the age of 27, 28, 29.
Yeah.
If you just do the maths,
being able to afford
a 32 million naira, not full household deposit, 14 years ago. 14 years ago. Now ask yourself, would we say it was when Banana Island was just coming up? Where was
Obviously,
it?
it's not a mainland house.
It's not a mainland house. So I want to know what type of house he was depositing. So if you deposit 32 million naira, so by my calculations, it's always this realtors will tell you deposit at least 30%
of the full
amount. Then you start paying subsequently. So imagine, so you deposit 32 million or 30%, which means the house should be up.
It's more than,
it's what, like 100 and something million 14 years ago. Come on, man, we're no kids here, man. It's
okay, but the truth is we can't really know how much he has, and just like you stated, some entertainers receive payments under the table that they're not declaring, and we know that this political dispensation has been very generous to certain people. We've heard of millionaires gifting people ridiculous amounts of money, and it didn't start today. So there is a very likely chance that he actually had that money, or someone may have gifted it to him.
Except so, and that's where I want the basketball is my guy. I don't understand when but here is it. I feel
I see where you're going.
because I feel things like this, yeah, it raises blood pressure because you start thinking of 14 years ago. What were you doing 14 years ago? Especially if you basketball's age and you're like, wait, what's this guy
just
doing?
Comedy, you know.
Do you understand?
He was not into the whole music.
Yes, it was just
business, and it depends on who it is you're performing for. If you remember, there was a time that Basket Mouth was doing some deals with a popular telecom company.
Of course, yeah.
So
Except
a lot of money, good negotiation,
yeah.
good management could actually help people. Because sometimes I don't think we can judge the amount people make based on their ages. Some people start earlier. They have a big break much earlier than others. And
True.
for others, it's later. So for him not choosing to go legal, I don't know if, like you said, maybe there are some parts that the world is not supposed to know about. But,
Anyways, I think Basket Mouth is just trying to let us know that
he's a big boy. Yes.
Oh, he was swindled.
So how can they swindle you of 32 million naira 14 years ago on your account? You're coming and you say you can't even sue the guy because the guy's your platonic friend, and you're still telling us. You think you've already exposed the guy. And don't forget, in the first post he made, he actually he named the estate. So everybody started doing this. We're not saying that this guy. So why are you now coming out? So just draw attraction to yourself.
But isn't it like worthy of commending that he's
a hardworking Nigerian?
Hey, you know what, Sugar?
We work hard. We all work hard. Everyone was working hard.
I mean, you know what time I woke up today? Just look at the time I go here.
I beg, Sugar. Continue this conversation behind the scenes. Actor Uche Maduagwu has requested that the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, look into the purchase of houses by male actors. Actors under the age of 38 who purchase houses, according to Maduagwu, should be looked into. He claims that there is no money in the film business. Taking to his social media page, he claimed that the Nollywood film industry does not pay performers well. Only peers of the caliber of actor Jim Ike, who have legitimate endorsements from renowned firms, could be regarded capable of affording such luxuries. Do you agree with this guy? That people below the age of 38
absolutely disagree.
Come on.
I mean, that guy is...
He's making it seem like an actor does only acting. Like, there are other things that people do, you know, that could be sources of their money. Sugar, you have to... You don't agree because...
You see, sometimes, because maybe because I have close contacts, contact with some of those people, and I've also questioned a couple of people. Yeah. But inwardly, I'm like... Well, things happen. I think he's probably referring to a certain group of actors.
Okay,
not all of them, though. First, and if you guys notice, Alex, yes, he's been flaunting, some
smart houses and all.
And we asked him. People have been asking. Even people that get to send me message, she's happy these guys before. What's up? I'm like, well, it's acting. It's an acting job. He sells bikes now, so. People are doing, just like you said, there might be endorsement, but some of this endorsement, we need to know what his endorsements are, if it's in the country. And the international community is not really helping right now because most Nigerians in diaspora, now the biggest scam, I'm not saying that's what they do, what this particular person has done, or what Uche Maduagwu is saying. Yeah. So you have people who would tell you, okay, we want to probably push some money into the country, right? So why don't you come make an appearance in Canada? Why don't you come make an appearance in US? So and go like 2, 3, 4 club tour and charge us, send us an invoice of $50,000 each, and it's all cool. Then they get all that money, then they get certain percentage, and they come in and say, hey, look, as an actor or as a musician, this is how much I make for performance and all of that. So things are happening. So Uche Maduagwu,
should all these things actually be out there like that? Like the other things, the other endorsement, like...
Yes, it should.
If organizations are going to endorse people, they owe it to their stakeholders and shareholders to say, look, this is the amount that we've set for this, right? But with limiting success on age, that's what I don't agree with. Some people are going to be successful older, some people are going to be successful younger. Of course, and with a lot of these celebrities who post up pictures or videos of new homes, sometimes they're not exactly saying, I bought this house. They're just saying,
No, most of the times they're actually saying it.
No, some would actually say, they post,
True.
that's petty though, because why do you need to prove anything to anyone if you get home? Because I've seen some just say, oh, to God be the glory, new house. They're not saying, oh, I'm renting it, or I bought it, or anything. So sometimes people just assume that they've actually paid in full for these homes. And there are a lot of housing schemes that would allow people get certain homes, right? So because they want to seek that relevance and clout on social media, they keep it vague and leave it open to anyone's interpretation. But I do believe that entertainers, just like everyone else, should have their income declared. Because when they're doing under-the-table payments, they're robbing the country, you're robbing other taxpayers. Why should we be paying taxes from source and you're getting so much and you're not?
And by interactions with some of these entertainers, they will tell you, why do we never declare as? They will tell you how many times has your governor, your president, or your so-called leaders declare, accurately. So they have so many things. They will tell you that, hey, look, I can't come and be declaring why, what's your, So it's this particular one that said he has to be under investigation before he can actually tell you, how much he actually earns.
Yeah, but the fact that he mentioned, he said the caliber of Jim Ike. What's he trying to say?
Jim Ike is his friend, so he's to an extent, there's some actors, some Nollywood actors who actually, quote unquote, you can say they're clean to an extent. There's an amount of cleanness you can actually have in the industry that allows you to do other unclean things that the clean just covers it up.
Exactly. Because these clean things now, they are the things that they want us to see.
Exactly,
That we now use that to determine whether it's clean or not. So we're not really sure of the backyard things.
But the interesting thing, when these law enforcement agents go after people that are famous, their fans go crazy on social media, trying to defend them, trying to make excuses and blame the authorities. The authorities absolutely should be vetting these people's sources of income, but based on their age, there are so many other factors that you should use to vet a person's mode of life, what they can afford and how they're living, than age. So saying just vet people that are earning a certain amount under 38, it's kind of lame to me, but there are so many other ways or reasons why you should be vetting people and their sources of income apart from age.
The thing is, if we can vet everyone, vet the politicians.
Let's start from the leaders. Yeah,
so let's start with that. Then I've never really been a fan of stopping a 21, 22-year boy riding the Benz in Lagos and say, hey, look, how did you make your money? I've never really been
that one time, and it was just unnecessary.
Trust me, they do it a whole. Though they've reduced now, though they don't really ask how do you make your money. They use style ask you like, what do you do for a living? How were you able to afford?
Yeah, but they know what exactly they're trying to get.
Exactly. There's a particular one that stopped me once. I was like,
they stopped you. So they say.
now let me explain it. I used to be on dreads. If you go down my Instagram post, you see me on dreads. And I had this. I call it my fancy toy. It was basically for going for shows, if I have meetings and all of that. And for every time you see a guy on dreads on that type of car, these guys will flag you down. There's a particular one that asked me once, like, what do you do for a living? I said, I was a journalist. I work on radio and TV. And he said, how much did they pay on ourselves for you to afford this? I had to quickly start letting him know I know my rights, so you can't be asking me that type of question before he was like, okay, well, you can go. But some people don't get that lucky. Yeah. They don't get that lucky. So my own issue is if you can start asking the politicians, because I know a local government chairman that drives a Range 27 million naira. So, and he was the regular guy on the street who was always coming to tell us then, hey, please vote for me. He didn't even have a car. He had a bike. He was an Okada guy.
Wow.
So 4 years into his reign, he had the 27. So, and nobody's actually asking. These EFCC guys are not asking, how did you make this money? To be fair,
they ask just before they are elected, before they start running for office, but they don't constantly assess all through. If they do, they're not letting us know. So maybe that's the sort of information that should be out there. We are the taxpayers. We're funding the government. So even after they are elected, they need to let us know. I absolutely agree with that.
We just need transparency in this country. More of transparency. Anyways, moving on to the international scene now. American movie star Meghan Markle has accused the British media of calling her kids the N-word. Okay, that's sensitive. The Duchess of Sussex made this known during an exclusive interview where she said, "There's literally a structure. Why would I give the very people that are calling my children the N-word a photo of my child before I can share it with the people that love my child?" Markle noted that she and Prince Harry did not have control of the Kensington Royal Instagram account they initially shared with Prince William and Kate Middleton. Now, Meghan Markle, yeah, we know she's black, yeah, and she's married to the prince, second son, Harry, and now she's telling the media now that there's a certain Instagram account for the royal family,
Yeah.
and before you post your kids' pictures, if you are a member of the royal family, you have to give it to these people first, as per royalties and all. But she's like, these people, they are fond of calling her children the N-word. So why are they now upset that she posted it out without sending it to them for us to get like exclusive access? It's just crazy.
The weird thing was, the day she gave birth, a respected broadcaster in the UK actually posted a picture of a man, woman, and a monkey in front of a hospital. And he actually posted and said that was baby Archie. So he lost his job. There was a lot of protest and people were upset about it. So when the media is already depicting your baby as a monkey, I mean, she's well within her rights to say, you know what, I'm not giving this picture out. The British public don't deserve it. Because people thought it was funny. But some of the sensible people realized that it was completely out of order.
I know those people, they're like the rebels of the British family, and you know, for them not
because they're normal people.
Exactly.
That's why they see them as the rebels.
I love them so much because for them to be able to stand up to the British family, the whole royal rules and everything, and then say, we don't want to go with these old lines. Like, this is what we want to. This is our life. We want to live it ourselves, and we're going to go against this if we want. We're going to, and then you can't do anything to us. So her holding her ground about this her pictures of her kids, I actually support her.
Absolutely.
Do you support her?
Yes, hold your
feminist on the
picture.
table. Anyways, let's go on. On our next story, Britney Spears' mother has responded after the singer shared a lengthy audio rant accusing her of conspiring with her father to put her under a legal conservatorship. The 22-minute recording, which was posted on Spears' YouTube account, saw the pop star claim her parents, Lynn and Jamie, engaged in a premeditated plot to get control of her finances after a woman introduced the idea to her dad prior to her much publicized hospitalization in 2008. Britney added that her mom helped him follow through with the plan and made it all happen. Reacting, Lynn insisted that she has always had Britney's best interests at heart, and she added that she loves her daughter, but the claims she aired in the scathing clip would be better made eye to eye in private. That last word, in private. This is a very, very sensitive family issue that Britney should just talk to her parents about. But then, with the whole Britney Spears saga,
right,
she has always been drawing lots of media attention to her, you know, issues relating to her family. And then, you know, her father has been in control of her finances for a very long time.
Yeah.
And she said that a woman brought the idea up to her parents, and then her mom supported it. Now she's now saying that her mom is now saying that she has always had Britney's best interests at heart, which is what every parent would
absolutely
say. But
when you look at this Britney story, if you go back 10, 15 years ago, I think without that conservatorship, Britney might have been dead by now.
True, that's true.
Because she was living a very fast life, falling out of cars, taking drugs, getting drunk. She was a very talented, or is a very talented artist, you know, from a very young age. But she got into that fast Hollywood life.
Yeah.
So, yes, we can blame the parents, or people can blame the parents and say, oh, they're taking control of her money. But this is the girl that got married one night in Vegas because she was with her old friends, and that marriage had to get annulled. This is the girl that was opening her legs wide open when and the perverted paparazzi were taking pictures. So she was in a situation where she needed help. And the truth is, for most people, only your family can provide that kind of help. Some other people will be there to take advantage.
True,
but I do feel like her parents at the time made the right decision for her.
Sure. At the time, they made the right decision. But I felt like over time, after rehab and all of that, I felt they should have probably just let go.
Give the reins to her.
Yes, but the whole situation of trying to pin her down and still be, well, it was more like it was becoming toxic, if you ask me. For because if she was saying, "Hey, look, I'm clean, I can actually do this by myself," and you still say, "Hey, look, you can't do this," it goes to as far as who you can see, who you can date, who you can be with, and come on.
And financially, they're definitely benefiting you.
Of course, they're benefiting, and so.
Good luck to Britney. I hope she settles this all out. Rachel Williams, a victim of con artist Anna Sorokin, whose story became the Netflix true crime series Inventing Anna, is suing the streamer for defamation and false light invasion of privacy. She alleges that the show's portrayal of her was almost entirely negative and fictional. This action will now show that Netflix made a deliberate decision for dramatic purposes to show Williams doing or saying things in the series which portray her as a greedy, snobbish, disloyal, dishonest, cowardly, manipulative, and opportunistic person. Oh, that's a whole lot of negative words. Williams is seeking unspecified damages plus legal costs, and she also wants the court to restrain and enjoin Netflix from continuing to defame her. She wants the alleged defamatory material removed from the series, which is still available on the streaming platform. Wow. You see, this series, are you watching the series Inventing Anna?
I haven't seen it yet.
I saw, I think, the first 3 episodes, and I just knew it was going to end. Because then, at that particular point when Netflix was bringing out a lot of docu-series, they had similar stories. Scammers and all of that. So I already knew what was going to happen. And I knew she was definitely going to come out one day and say, "Hey, look, man, this is not how it ended. You guys just portray me." But
you know what? Movies, I'm a movie person, yeah. And first of all, I like that Inventing Anna because of the lead character, which is from one of that series, Ozark, Julia Garner. And she actually portrayed this character very, very well. But the fact that this is a documentary, the actual owner of the story that they are, retelling should know that they will actually improvise in some situations and not everything will be true. But then it is now excessively negative and it's telling on her character in real life.
The thing is, when you improvise, stay within the scope of conversation. So when you not improvise, okay, you try to improvise the tea time, right? So there's Zibi, there's Sugar, and there's Tonya. So you now make it look like every time Sugar was on air, right, I'm always fighting ZB and Tonya. But that wasn't actually the case. But because you're trying to get content and get viewership, then you now try to make me, of course, I'm going to come at you. So she has every right. And I feel Netflix is not the first person actually going to sue Netflix. There are a whole lot of people who was actually, come out and say, "Hey, look, man, this is not my true story," especially the docu-series. It's not a true story of things.
Anyways, this is where we draw the curtain on today's episode of Tea Time. But then we would love to go more, but then time is really, really well spent. But anyways, thanks for watching as always. You can join the conversation on social media with the hashtag TEATIME. And remember, you can catch up on all our previous episodes, including this very one, and all our exclusive content on YouTube by subscribing to our channel at PlusTvAfrica Lifestyle. You can also watch Tea Time on R2 TV and in London on Ben Television and Star Times Channel 308. A big, big, massive thank you to my co-anchors, ZB and Sugar of Lagos, aka, tell them.
Mama's favorite son-in-law, don't forget that.
And of course, thank you to the entire production team. Thank you guys for watching Plus TV Africa's Tea Time. My name is Antonia Oshley. Peace out.